Welcome to Slammers Weekly. I'm Beau. We are actually recording from my car. We got kicked out of some other recording spots. So last time I recorded in here, I had Chris Crawford next to me. Now I have Ben Litt.
What a downgrade.
Yeah, I mean, from a golfer's perspective, a huge downgrade.
No kidding.
Yeah, Cole's going to be out for a bit. So I think Ben's going to be carrying us for the next month or so here. We're entering July, or in the middle of the season. Ben and I are both sitting here. We're both just trying to catch a feel. We're both trying to find a swing. For anyone else out there suffering, we feel you. It's never fun sitting here on June 29th searching for something. What are you thinking here, Ben, with this?
Yeah, you seem like you're hitting a bunch of balls, you're grinding, you're working on stuff. I'm in a different frame of mind right now in my process. I'm hitting the ball good on the range and nothing's translating to the golf course. So I think I'm equally hopeless. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I stand, you know? You can never really know with shit like that. So
I think that means you're close, though. I think you start hitting the shots in the range, and there's that transitioning period till it shows up on the course. So it probably means you're close.
God, I hope.
Or you might just start hitting a bit on the range.
That's what I'm saying. Like I can only hit it worse on the range now.
Right.
I can't go up. So
yeah,
not good.
I really think next time we check back in, we're going to be in better spots. But maybe I'm just being overly optimistic here. For people who are out there playing good golf. In some of these tournaments, let's catch up on some of that stuff. So I guess we'll start off with my last shit show was at Bellwood. Another bad performance. I shot 83. No excuses. I think that's a good qualifying course. I think the conditions were good. I didn't think it was playing very hard either. I was kind of surprised the number was 4 over, to be honest with you. I didn't find the golf course overly hard. It wasn't overly firm. It wasn't windy. I don't know.
Was it wet? Was it soft out there from the rain? Or?
It was like a good firm, right? Like you're getting like normal roll in the fairway. You know, your typical, say, 20 yards a roll in the fairway, 30 yards a roll. The greens were receptive, right? You can one-hop stop shots in there. Nothing was zipping, but nothing was catapulting either. It was very fair.
Go out and get something. Yeah. Yeah,
that's what I was saying. I'm surprised the numbers were what it was. I thought it'd be a little bit lower. Anyway, I was way off of it. That was Bellwood. I don't really have much to add there. There really wasn't. It was kind of an uneventful day for me. I enjoyed myself out there, but not any really good stories or any huge takeaways other than that's what kind of kicked me into this. I got to find a swing. I got to get some lessons and hit some balls because this just showing up and playing 2 qualifiers a week without any practice or casual rounds, that magic kind of ran out.
You're just going to drive yourself insane doing that shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're just, you at some point it kind of clicks like, wow, I'm really wasting my time. This is a process that hasn't worked for anybody. Why would it work for me?
You're not the first one to dig yourself out of that hole, right?
No.
Never.
Yeah. Like it's like, yeah, come on. I'm just so stupid. I really am. I'm just such an idiot. It's just crazy. I'm 33 years old and I'm making these mistakes still. You wait till your swing is in complete disarray to go to an instructor.
Yeah. Totally not in the spirit of proactivity that you need, you know?
Right. It's like waiting until you put your 50 pounds overweight to go on a diet. It's like, pal, like why didn't you look at 20?
Yeah, the boat's left the harbor, long gone, right? Come on.
Yeah, now you have a bigger hole to dig out of.
Yeah.
Whatever. Junior Boys was at Lulu last week. And I know that's a tournament that holds a spot in our hearts, I think, right?
Totally.
We all grew up playing that in the area. It's the crown jewel of the junior circuit,
yeah, the calendar circler, you know?
Because the Jock McKenzie was at Sandy Run every year, and nothing against Sandy Run, but that's a very uninspiring course. It was a one-round event. Not a bad tournament, but not something that really got you excited. The Crispin Cup, sometimes they had a good courses, sometimes they didn't, but once again, a one-day event. The Junior Boys was always the big deal. Mm-hmm. And it saddened me to see them have that last year at a course like Bala. It's really just, but to see them now like have Lulu step up and have it and get it back at legitimate venues for this tournament, I think was really good on Lulu's part.
Yeah, I think that's important. I mean, speaking as a junior, getting in the competitive game there at like age 14, 15, that was really big to have a great venue, a big venue for that big time tournament when you're a junior golfer, right? We always talk about growing the game with younger people. And it seemed like that really having great venues for the junior boys really elevates that event, you know? And Gap is obviously going to do a great job running that tournament wherever it is, but the most memorable events were at the best venues.
Hell yeah. I mean, you guys still to this day talk about the one at the Ridge.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
It comes up all the time. Like, I mean, just in casual conversation.
So many stories from that day. I mean, yeah, not very often 14, 15-year-olds get to play green stimping 13s in tournament conditions, right? That's probably as good as it gets. And a lot of kids like golf souls were really kindled that day.
Right, exactly. That's what it comes down to, because you're at a very impressionable time period in your golfing journey. Right. So there's some people you go into that on the brink of like, I don't know if I really love this game. I don't know. Like, I'm still trying to find my way through this whole competitive golf scene, so to speak.
Right.
And then you get to a place like the Ridge and you go, wow, like I want to play.
It's aspirational.
Yeah. Like I want to do this again. Right.
Yeah.
Versus if you guys went out to the Field Club or Bala or something like what, I mean, it's like, this sucks. Like,
if I was 15 years old and I had to play the junior boys at Bala, that would be tough to get me up for the next year. And honestly, like you said, impressionable years, I would probably be in a different state of mind with tournament golf. Right.
But circling back to Lulu, it's huge that they stepped up this year, because I know that the Gap has been having a hard time getting tournaments to host the junior boys. And once again, we gotta call this out. I mean, I think this is just, we all know how awesome the Gap is. We're all so happy to be a part of it. It's a very special thing that we should never take for granted. I don't understand why these golf courses, nobody's forcing them to be a part of the association. They're willingly entering into this association, and they're happy to reap the rewards of the association, but they're not putting that foot forward and giving up their course for, say, 2 days in a 10 or 15 year period.
It's got to be a give and take, right? It's got to be a two-way street, right? You can't just have your cake and eat it too here.
Exactly. And that's kind of what this is turning into. We have so many good, I mean, without even rattling them off, for a junior boys, we probably have between 30 and 40 legitimately good venues that could host in the association for junior boys. And why does Kirby have to bang down your door to try to get something out there? I don't get why. We're talking a full day on a Monday, which you're already closed on, right? So you're losing no revenue. Or
might have an outing scheduled that day anyway, right?
I guess the outing's the one thing. That's a good point.
No, I know, but still,
right.
But still, we're talking like 1 out of every 5,000 Mondays.
Then you go to a Tuesday, which is more like a half a day with the match play. And the Wednesday, you're basically giving up a foursome. You're giving up like one or two teams.
Can play
that's so you're basically giving up the course for 2 days. I think getting back to the revenue thing, it's a good thing for your course. You might not be able to measure the quantitative aspect of it instantly on like what it does for your course.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of qualitative things I think that are associated with having it out there, with the publicity, with people getting to play the course, with the buzz. And then in the future, I think you do get that quantitative benefit of people joining or people knowing about the place, etc.
I think it's true golf marketing, right? Like, take for example, the Ridge at Backbrook. It's obviously a very private golf course. Not a lot of people play it, but certainly me at 15-year-old playing at that golf course today, I would consider joining there because I played there and had an awesome experience there, right? Like, people forget that like junior golfers that are playing in these events grow up. They get old and then they play golf somewhere when they grow up. Like, their parents can't pay for them to play golf anywhere, right? So they need to restore and kind of build a base. A membership base, and that really starts with the junior game, right? Yeah. Having a great junior golf program at your course is the best long-term investment your club can make. No pool or big-ass slip and slide is going to do as good as a junior golf program. I'm dead serious.
No, it's true, because that's the pulse of your club. It's not a pool club. It's a golf club with a pool, right? Like, it's like people lose sight of what really is important at some places.
Right.
They start getting into the whole bells and whistles and get away from like, what is our business based off of? It's the golf course.
And back to our original point with the junior boys,
you shouldn't need to be sold. It should be something they should want to do, especially for junior events.
It's free marketing, and that's a long-winded way of saying just like to the nice course in the Gap, host the junior boys.
Yeah.
It's going to it's going to expose your course to the most impressionable kids that are going to be the future of our game. So why not?
So,
it's a low lift.
Exactly. I also played in the father-son, the Jersey father-son at Laurel Creek. That's a fun event. Alternate shots are it really is fun. Even if
was it Chapman or was it
select drive alt?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which, like I said, it's a fun event because alt shots, there's pressure, and it's even if it's with your dad and something that's not that serious, it really is. It's fun to play in once or twice a year.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it had to have been a pretty big event because I saw in some photos after the fact that there were some fellas out there playing with injuries. Is that what I saw? Did I see that correctly?
I posted on our Twitter page. There was a guy, there was a kid playing in there in a walking boot, and the picture you can see the pain. I mean, he was in anguish, right? Like you saw. He was bouncing off he was almost like trying to bounce and land. It looked like because he couldn't have the right stability with that boot on. It was just. I mean, what's going on out there?
From those photos that we sifted through, it looked like a mess out there. We had father-son aim-pointing duos. We had a guy thrown on his back foot on the boot, too. What a scene. What an absolute scene.
And some of those follow-throughs, like a couple of the ones that look like the fire hose follow-throughs, were like, they can't even almost get a still shot of it. There's so much wiggle room going through the face. And it's like him, everything else is still, and the club's like blurred.
Yeah, you need like 3 seconds for everything to settle, right?
Yeah, you get some. We play with the guy, nicest guy in the world, but he had the legitimate putting yips. I mean, he even admitted it, right? So it's like he comes out in the first hole and he's like, you can see him like he's moving over the ball. I'm going, this ain't gonna be good. I'm looking at my dad, and he misses like a 20-inch putt, right? Like doesn't even had no chance the whole.
And you're really getting exposed in alt shot.
Right.
It's way more pressure than playing your own ball.
Oh, 100%.
So that's just cruel.
And his son's saying, "Come on, Dad." He's trying to tell him, really trying to rally him. It's okay, shake it off. And by like the third one, it was kind of like.
How old was the son?
He was like my age.
Oh, okay.
Good player.
At least he wasn't
very good player.
At least he
actually.
wasn't like a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Then he could get some real.
Yeah.
F you, Dad. F this, right? He could really be taking it more seriously than maybe it was. But good to hear who's a mature son. Yeah,
those yips can really surface and stuff like that.
Totally.
Like you can totally regress and fall off the way. You could think they're gone, and then you get in one of those and you miss a couple.
As a former yipper, can we move on to the next thing? I don't really want to talk about this anymore.
I won't say it.
Yeah, thanks.
Moving on. Bluebell. That was earlier this week. I've said in the past I don't like the place. I avoid it at all costs. They got a decent turnout, I think. Just as a formality, there was only really 2 legitimate qualifiers. I think they had one up in the Poconos, which gets your token 20 guys or whatever. But it was really either Bluebell or Bellwood. Mm-hmm. So, depending on the dates, they got some folks out there. Number was 4 over, I believe. Anything notable out there? I'm trying to think. Jake Elliott, our guy from Riverton, played, Eagles kicker.
Yeah.
He got in last year. It was his first ever qualifier. Competitive qualifier last year, and he qualified for the Philly Open, which I don't think he realized how impressive that was.
Yeah, it's not to use the term beginner's luck, but it's almost, I would almost go as far as to say, a little bit of ignorance is bliss, if you will.
He was honeymooning last year. I mean, he was totally like, hey, this is fun.
I like this.
This is easy. I was saying he's saying that, but it felt easy to the guy. I mean, I remember I saw him in the parking lot afterwards at Riverton. I was talking to him after he got in last year, and he's like, oh, I shot, acting like he played like kind of bad almost. And I'm like, oh, what'd you shoot? He's like 73. I hit one out of bounds. It was like so stupid. I'm like, dude, you're in. Like, you're in. He's like, you think so? I'm like, you're in by like 2 or 3 shots. Like, just go home.
What a problem.
Buck off the calendar. But yeah, this year I think he shot 80. And yeah, I think he's starting to see like golf's not as easy as he might have thought it was. Not as easy as kicking.
No.
I think he's a top 5 kicker in the world.
Yeah.
Being a top golfer might not be in his cards, but nonetheless, he's a really solid golfer. The Delaware Am, Wild Quail, 18 under wins there. 2 guys at 18 under. Like, what the hell's going on out there? I mean, have you played there? I mean, I get it's not, obviously it's not a hard golf course. I've never played there, but judging by the scores, but 18 under, I mean, that's...
I mean, I saw multiple, and it's a 4-round tournament. We had how many guys? 5 or 6 guys in double digits under par?
Yep, that's right.
I mean, I played out there in a Philly Am. They used to have junior tournaments down there a while. Really fun golf course, pretty wide open. And it's really not a hard golf course. I think in one Philly Junior Tour event when we were like 15, the kid shot 64 down there. But, I mean, really, what it seems like to me, at least on the surface, looking at scorecards and looking at the leaderboard, the Delaware Golf Association set it up what I would call, for the folks at home that have seen the movie Ratatouille, I would really liken this to a Chef Gusteau setup. Anyone can cook out there. Really, anyone can cook. It's just not a hard golf course. You can hit it anywhere.
A lot of ways to make birdies out there.
Yeah, like you can really blow it 2 fairways over, hit it over.
You're not shaping shots. You're not forced to flight the ball. You're not dealing with crazy greens. It sounds like it's just like it's just hit it as far as you can, and whatever.
You're down there in the Delaware.
It's short. I mean, it was 6,500 yard, par 72. There's not really a long hole in the golf course.
The wind never blows down there. Yeah, it's
flat. You're getting flat lies. You're not getting hangers, and it's just it's just a recipe for low scores.
Dart show.
Yeah, I mean Mike Brown, who we all know is one of, if not the best player in the section, shot even par. He lost by 18 shots. That's got to be a little humbling for him.
No thanks.
I just spoke with him. Super thoughtful, super articulate guy. Really, really great guy. But I would love to ask him. I wish I interviewed him after this to see, like, when's the last time you've been 18 shots off of a lead? I mean,
and shoot even.
Right.
For 72 holes.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's sick. Yeah.
At a certain point, though, I mean, if the Delaware Golf Association, if they want to make their state am just like a dartboard, just go after it, pin your ears back, that's kind of okay with me.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's somewhat different, right?
Exactly. It's different from the same old. Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna have 72 holes, nobody wants the winning score to be +5.
Yeah,
because that means, like, you look at the bottom of the leaderboard, the guys that made the cut. You got a guy at +22 and a guy at +29.
Ejections everywhere.
That guy would be a +50, +55 if the course was hard. Right? And that takes away from the pace of play and the fun. Everybody says that I talk to. When I say everybody, I'm totally exaggerating. I talked to one person, but technically, I guess that's everybody. I talked to Zach, and he said it was super fun. He said that the pace was good, and so I mean that's kind of the brand that they're going for down there, and it's executed well.
Yeah, glorified Corn Ferry event. I'm all in.
I love it. I wish I was down there just so I can get off, like, getting back in the 70s. I think I could have broke 80 twice out there.
Right.
It looks like.
Yeah, you could cheat and make 4 birdies out there pretty easily. You could really fake it with your game out there, man.
I need a place like that. In other local news, U.S. Junior Am qualifying was today at Rivercrest Preserve. Looking at the scores briefly here, looks like we were a victim of some out-of-towners coming in again and taking some spots. We have a kid from Australia who shot 7 under, a kid from Ireland who shot 5. Clearly a business trip for these guys. Mercenaries, as you would call them, Ben. I guess that is the downside of being near the JFK and Newark Airport. These guys fly in, take our spots. But looking at some local guys, Nate Gertler shot 2 under. He's a second alternate, lost in a playoff for the last spot. I had the pleasure of playing with him a few weeks ago in a qualifier. What a great kid, super mature. He's Drexel bound next year, so it should be another nice addition to that program. I don't really recognize many other names on here, to be honest, but yeah, hopefully as an alternate, Nate's able to sneak in there. The Gap foursome you guys played in, yesterday, right, at Schuylkill?
Yeah, the 4-player team. Yeah, we were out there. Schuylkill, what a nice idyllic landscape out there in Schuylkill County. Way out there. I think it was 2 hours from our house.
Nice spot, or are you being sarcastic?
No. It was just nice country land, Schuylkill County.
Okay.
Wouldn't go back. I mean,
yeah.
It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Don Ross, pretty classic course, I would say. Not really too many great holes, not many bad holes. They have a lot of trees out there in the way of some places. You can tell it's one of those courses that they do have land out there, but they seem to have no interest in moving tee boxes back.
Yeah.
So they've just decided to put trees in the way of stuff. And just and that's kind of how they, like, the 470 par 5 has a tree right if you want to cut the corner, it's right in the middle.
Somewhere along the line it went awry down over there. Like, it's just like they lost direction. But they need someone to come in.
It's classic Don, but it's almost like he made 3 of the same golf course in one. You can see, like, a couple of the par 3s are like the same hole. You know? It seemed like there were a lot of repeats. He was cheating on the test, and I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's good for that event. It was too far. Wouldn't drive out there again, but hey, it's always fun when you can get 3 other guys and go play a birdie fest and hopefully make some putts. We didn't make shit, but I mean,
anything good going on out there? Any stories?
I mean, we played really bad. I think we were 1 under as a foursome. We didn't make anything out there, and obviously that's no excuse, but the round didn't start off on a high note. We were up there. One of my buddies, Dave, hits one down in the middle of the fairway. Another guy in our group hits one a little bit right into the trees on one. I'm sure the listeners are not familiar with Schuylkill Country Club, but there is a large forest right at the first fairway. So we go over there, try to find my buddy's ball. Dave, who's not a good driver of the golf ball, he miraculously found the fairway, the first fairway, which is definitely a first for him. He's really, really feeling himself at this point, batting 1,000 on fairways hit. But Dave, being the erratic driver he is always the first guy to go look for a fellow soldier's ball whenever they go right off the tee. So,
season.
Of course. He's got his machete out. He's ready to go into the woods and find that thing. So, I mean, one of my best friends, he goes after in there. Yeah. We're looking for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then you hear just like Dave lets out a little scream. He has stepped on a beehive, and he got stinged.
Getting attacked.
He got stinged 6 times.
Holy shit!
I mean, yeah. What a weird start to the round. He said his left ankle was numb, or his right ankle, because he made me drive the cart the rest of the day. It hurt so much to press down on the pedal.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So he was like in serious pain.
No, I know,
there.
but the true soldier that Dave is, I mean, so much grit, not wearing a grit hat, I might add. Up there, he found the fairway, right? So he's going to go cash in, hits it up to 30 feet, and makes par on the first hole. Didn't make the birdie due to the bee stings, but, I mean, so much. We needed that par on the first hole, too. So happy for the guy to get it done. But I think that's a commentary on a lot of erratic drivers. They're really first in line to help a fellow soldier when they go awry off the tee. Right?
They're prepared. They have everything down, all the tactics, right? Like
totally.
And when they get out, they check for ticks. Like they know exactly what's going on. Right?
They have the towel out early and often, right? You can always tell too. I mean, when you're on the first tee, I know under the little tent there with scoring and whatever. Some of those buggier courses, when you get into the summer, there's a little bug spray down there.
Yeah.
You can always tell the one guy in the group that's really
dousing himself,
lathering that thing on is the wildest off the tee, has the fire hose out. Right?
That's like the staple of the sprayer starter kit.
Absolutely.
Right, the wild guy, like he's got the bug spray. Right, he's got some kind of like maybe sleeves or long socks, or you can even, if not, you can just identify as a sprayer by like the scrapes and stuff on his arm and legs from just rooting around all year in the, there's built up scars there.
Oh, I know. If you go out to some of those wooded, like Little Mill comes to mind, you could really look like you were doing some serious yard work out there coming up the 18th hole with all the
the brush, and they get thorns and everything else. And yeah, if there was ever a poster child for that starter kit, I think Dave might be the guy. Like we'll give Dave a break. He's struggling like us.
But I mean,
now.
you got to commend the guy. He's first in line to go look for other.
The guys, no one's ever questioned his heart. That's the different.
Absolutely not.
But the club path, that's a different story.
Yeah.
That thing's out.
But all in all, I mean, Schuylkill Country Club, it's a good place if you live up there. I mean, it's nice, right? Classic Donald Ross.
I would say a lot. We actually have a few loyal listeners from Schuylkill. I've spoken with them.
Oh,
They're good guys. Yeah.
No, I love it.
Not saying it should change. I'm glad you're being honest. I didn't tell you that before because I wanted to hear what you honestly had to say. But
okay.
yeah, you didn't. I mean, you seem like you give it an honest take. It's a decent.
It's a classic Donald Ross.
Yeah, it's a classic Donald Ross. It's not going to overly stimulating. It's not going to overly excite you. But
no, it's just too far for me to drive and do it again. But love the locker room. Great vibe in there.
Nice.
Cool
That's
clubhouse.
Huge. That's very underrated.
Yep.
And you guys, we'll add, you were the defending champs of that coming into that.
Yeah,
so that was noteworthy.
We hoisted hardware twice, and
Last question on that. I mean, you never want to accuse anybody of anything or even throw the word cheating out there. But I mean, an event like that is just really just a breeding ground for cheating. I mean, it's for your buddies playing in a tournament, keeping your own score with no one else out there.
It really is a recipe for disaster.
I mean, there's you would say there's no doubt that somebody's doing something fishy out there. Like,
totally.
No, even if it's just gimme, whatever. Like, they're not putting the ball in the hole. Like, I'm not saying guys are having sixes and writing down fours, but if there's maybe a little imaginary circle or some hockeying around, I don't know.
Sure.
But I mean, luckily it's not too serious an event where it's if someone's doing that, that's on them. But
I think the tournament is the appropriate amount of seriousness that kind of rules out a lot of that monkey business. So, comes with the territory.
Yeah. Oh, well, it was worth it. It was. I just thought of that when I was looking at you guys. I was like, wow, that's kind of a crazy concept.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often.
No.
But it's almost like going out in a tournament playing by yourself and keeping your own card. It's someone's gonna do something weird out there.
You always those
you
outings.
have guys cheating and stuff when someone else is keeping their cards. So it's clearly if they're by themselves. I mean, I've seen it. We've all played enough events where someone's tried something.
Those outings, they come in at minus 25. They're like 3 par 5s on the golf course. Oh yeah, we went 2-3-2 on the par 5s. No thanks.
Yeah, and they don't have a single digit in their whole group. It's okay, yeah. Moving into club championship season, we're right there. I mean, I know ours is in a couple weekends. I know a lot of clubs are around that time period. The club championship season is just a fun. There's just some kind of aura about club championships that you can't really quite articulate, right? It's weird.
No,
it's every year, way before, it's not something I have circled on the calendar. It's not in May, I can't wait for the Riverton Club Championship. But once it gets closer and closer,
it appears.
All of a sudden you're like, wow, I'm really looking forward to the club champ. You start, it's weird, right?
Yeah, it's like the weird, at least my relationship with the club championship, it's hard not to psych yourself out.
Yeah,
right?
It is.
Because you just don't play your home course in a competitive environment like that very often. So, I mean, it's always fun to compete, but competing on your home course, I think, is a little bit different than going on and being a road warrior at one of these qualifiers. So, I mean, what's your favorite part about the club championship?
No, 100%. I would agree with that. Like you said, you play so many casual rounds out there, and I just don't count anything outside of stroke play like a serious round. Like people are like, oh, well, don't you play the member out there and all that stuff? That's not golf. I mean, it really right. It's you're out there playing 9-hole matches from the 2 tees again. It's just it's a totally different animal. My favorite part about it, I guess it would be. I guess it's just playing your club mates in a serious match because you never get a chance to really, if you and I met, it would be great to play you in a match that really meant something. Not just a 5-5-10. That doesn't, at the end of the day, mean anything.
It's different.
It's different. You kind of wish, it's almost like the gap matches where you kind of wish there was more of it, but if there was more of it, it might not be as special.
Right. The Ryder Cup's awesome because it's once every 2 years.
Exactly.
Can't do it every year or whatever. I mean, at least from my point of view, my favorite part is that Friday before the stroke play qualifying. Mm-hmm. Just seeing all those 3 and 4 handicaps out on the range that you've never seen all year on the range, right? You can see they're in the library 4 hours before the final exam. You just know they're just trying to find something that's never there.
They're trying to catch a feel for 8 hours.
They've never practiced. They've never practiced all year, and they're going to show up.
Well, it's almost like the whole drunk sign-up guy. The guy who gets drunk and signs up at the Gap M qualifier before the deadline. Right? He needs a little booze for some encouragement. Right? He's not I would love to have the Gap timestamps for these signups because there's all those guys sign up at 11:57 the night before.
I didn't really. Is this a thing?
Yeah, I mean, I used to drunk sign up back in the day when I was younger because I just stunk and I'd be like, I'm not going to sign up. I'm not going to plan anything. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. One night I would be drinking and I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to sign up for the Gap Am right now. And it'd be wee hours of the night. And I wake up the next day and be like, fuck, did I sign up for the Gap Am? Can I get a doctor's note? Get 75% of my money back? I'm like, wait, I forgot I can't play golf. Like, what am I thinking?
All right, so besides that, I really do get a kick out of those bozos on the range, like the Friday night before the just thinking that those 5-7 irons are really going to be the difference between 85 and 87 the next day.
It's so true.
I also really love, as a sicko former Yips survivor, I love watching guys miss tap-ins.
Oh, that's such a good one.
So it's so good.
You were thinking about this because before you asked this question, I had nothing queued up, and I went with like a bullshit, like, oh, you get to play your friends, whatever. That's a great one. The tap. There's nothing. There's nothing better than
guys miss tap-ins.
It's not even miss. But like, there's nothing worse than the guys quivering over tap. Like, right, like you just see like the little shake going on. You're like we even have good players. I'm not gonna say names, but we know some of the guys at our clubs that like they don't. I feel like they don't play competitive golf anymore because of it. Sure. And they wouldn't ever say that, or because they're just not man enough to come out and say it.
Sure.
Right? But we all kind of know. Like,
yeah.
And there's nothing better than seeing them come out in the club championship once a year and just try to like eke balls into the hole.
Side dooring, dying 12 inchers. Yeah, the whole works. I'm here for all of it, dude. I'm here for all of it.
Oh, there's something special about those, and it's every club. I feel like every club captures that same kind of feel, right? That week or weekend or month, whatever it is. It's special. I'm looking forward to it. Quick club championship note. I found this pretty impressive. I was at the father-son. I had the pleasure of eating lunch with Tom Hyland. Everyone in the section knows Tom Hyland. I don't even think that's even an exaggeration to say everyone knows Tom Hyland. Such a great guy. Super kind. But anyway, he's telling us that he made... And he's super sharp with numbers. I mean, he's one of the best blackjack players in the world, right? So it's not like he's just like spitballing numbers out. From 1980 to 2019, 40 straight years, he made the cut in the Little Mill Club Championship. Now, this isn't just any cut, right? Little Mill's 27 holes out there. Every shot is just waiting for a blow-up, right? We know that. We've all played out there. And there's always good players out there. It's not easy to get in. It's usually around 120-ish, the number. Sometimes it's as low as like 117-ish. And sometimes it goes up to 122, 23, based upon the how firm the greens are and conditions, etc. Sure. But for 40 straight years, to basically not have a blow-up out there, I was blown away by that. I'm like, that's pretty staggering.
It's just because Little Mill's like a bundle of variance. You know?
Right, exactly.
It's just like one day you're hitting it good, whatever, you can get around in 72, and the next 87, right? To sustain success like that for 40 years?
Well, think about it. That's
40 years?
40 times 27. I wish I did the math before. It's 800, whatever. It's like over almost 1,000 holes. It's over 1,000 holes. I think it's 1080, right?
Yeah.
Something like, I think it's over 1,000 holes.
Yeah. I
mean, that place is a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
To go out there and play that many holes and not... I was impressed by the number.
That's amazing.
I thought it was worth mentioning because, I don't think Tommy thought it was as big of a deal as I did. He's just kind of super steady. He hits every fairway, but that was cool. One thing I want to call out courses for, and it's not even just one single course. I think it's just almost golf, the tournament golf scene as a whole. Why are we always off mats now on the range? Like, we have all of these courses that have grass sections, and you look at the grass and it looks pristine. And you're like, okay, it's June 25th. And there's realistically 2.5, 3 months of real golf season left. Like, what are we saving this grass for? Right. We have a qualifier here today. Throw us on the fucking grass. Give us a yard strip to take out, and like I guess maybe we were just spoiled 10, 15 years ago, 20 years. Like growing up, I always remember always being on grass, like warming up for tournaments. Like absolutely, if it was on mats, you would almost complain, like I'm not hitting off. People would just say, people wouldn't even care. People would
they would just go up.
People would like screw this. The first guy would do it, and then everybody would do it. Like, I'm not hitting off these things. And now it's like the new thing where you show up and it's like. I don't know. I mean, have you noticed that too? Like, where was Schuylkill yesterday?
Schuylkill, we were on mats, and there was definitely grass in front. Granted, there was a thunderstorm and they just got dumped with rain the night before.
And it's not even a call out Schuylkill. It's not let's call it any club. It's everybody does it now.
Yeah.
And I feel
look
like
away in the
look
Gap
away
Am.
in the Gap Am had you on mats.
Yeah, they were on mats. Huntington Valley was definitely on grass.
Okay, good for them.
But
They have okay, qualifier is fine. If you're not good enough to get in the event, maybe you don't deserve to hit off grass. I'll take that, right? If I'm out there
Sure.
shooting 83,
Fine.
doesn't matter for me. No, it doesn't. I'm not. But if you qualify for the actual tournament, you gotta be on grass. I mean, Lookaway's got you on mats. I mean, I hope that's not the case at the Open.
No,
you can't even hit wedges off those things if you're steep like us. You'll bend your.
I know,
you'll bend your clubs.
banging them off the
Your
ground.
60 turns into a 59.5 after 3 shots.
Yeah, I don't like the trend though.
That's all I'm calling it. I feel like we're not.
What's the point?
I don't know how self-aware we are as a community of this. Is my point. Like,
Yeah.
I think we've got to bring some awareness to this, and maybe clubs can start turning this around. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Quick golf thing. I saw Stone Harbor was bought by Heritage, the Heritage golf management company. They have some other courses in Jersey, like Basking Ridge and
Okay.
and Stanton Ridge. I just wanted to mention Stone Harbor because I just my buddy's a member at Stanton. He's like, oh, we acquired Stone Harbor. I'm like, don't get so excited, pal. If you want to drive down to the shore and torture yourself on, I mean, really, that place used to. It's tamed down quite a bit. It's still bad, but I think
I like it.
I think Tyler's done some work there, and it has gotten better. But yeah, that place. Wow,
I don't like it at all.
what a debacle that place is, man. I mean, that guy. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. We don't have to get in too much in the Stone Harbor. Hopefully, Tyler's turning that place around because it needs it. Here's another thing I wanted to mention. I don't know if you can relate to this or not, but I'm starting to realize that like punch shots are almost becoming extinct in golf. It's like a dying breed, and it's funny because I have one once in a while. And before, I mean, especially when I was at Little Mill, I'm at Burlington too. I mean, I was a sprayer of the golf ball my whole life, and I mean, there was times I played the front nine at Burlington when it was tree line, then I would punch out every hole. I mean, my punch game was so dialed in. I mean, I could hit like 6 greens and only hit one. You know, it was one of those things where you're hooking balls on the greens and cutting. And
Yeah.
now I get over a routine punch shot, and I'm like, I don't really feel comfortable over this because I haven't hit one in a month.
Sure.
And the other day I went. It was a CPG special. I went into the woods with a bucket of balls and practiced my punch shots.
No, you didn't.
I swear to God. I said I might as well
what
check.
golf course?
I did it at Riverton. It's hard to explain where I did it at, but I found like a good pat. It was right of the range. I shouldn't have done this. I mean, this is like totally not cool. But
Sure.
there's like a patch like right of the range, and I dropped like a whole bucket in there, and there was like a tree you can cut one around and draw one around, and whatever. It worked out good. But
That's fine.
I just wanted to check all the boxes. I said if I'm gonna try to get better, I might as well get these punch shots down too. But anyway, it's like. It's weird though, isn't that? Do you feel that way too a little bit? Like, is your punch game kind of diminished a bit?
I feel like it was touch and go. I feel like when my short game is bad and my pitching, that like 40-yard shot is bad, my punch shots are way worse.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like however I'm hitting the 40-yard shot, I know for sure my punch shot is going to be slightly worse.
And why is that?
I don't know, because it's just like the same sort of
angle,
swing.
like
I'm trying to squeeze it and I hit it too high, like.
Yeah.
And again, it's just not a shot you practice that much.
That's what I mean. But
right?
Before, you used to have it so much that you're like, sometimes your eyes light up over for me, they used to, I'm like, I'm so happy I have this little punch. This is fun. It's very stimulating.
Yeah.
And it's a shot, if you have dialed in, you're like, it's not a hard golf shot. But now that I don't have it, it's just interesting. And I feel like with trees being removed and just the way the game's going, like they're almost like somewhat not like Riverton was a tree line course at one point.
Yeah.
You probably had them all the time growing up, and now there might be only 2 or 3 holes that you could even really have one on.
Yeah,
There's not even any possibilities of having a punch shot out there really anymore, like a true punch shot.
Yeah, because even when you're kind of in the trees and in not a good spot, the punch shot really sometimes not even is the correct
No, it's more
play.
it's more just like you just got to flight it down a little bit.
Right.
It's not a true like I got to squeeze it through this 5-yard gap
Right.
and draw it.
Right.
It's just like, all right, like rather than hitting a 9-iron from 150, I'm gonna just like flight down a 7.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of just more of like a whatever.
And it's really a short game shot. I feel like where I go wrong too as well, my head moves all around.
Yeah.
I feel like my head is just totally.
Well, it's an angle shot. You don't want a lot of
Totally
you don't
going
want
around.
you don't want a steep angle coming in. You don't want really any spin. You kind of just want to be coming in shallow and just kind of hit the ball essentially with
Right.
your shoulders and your core
Yeah.
versus like a lot of hand action and keep the spin down, keep it low. Yeah. Anyway, I've been practicing those. We'll see if hopefully I don't need them much. Last thing I want, and I told you I was going to surprise you with something.
Okay.
I was just watching this before we record it. Those celebrity golf matches. It was Klay Thompson and Steph Curry versus Kelsey and Mahomes. Like,
Is that on TNT?
Yeah.
The match?
What are we doing with that stuff? Like, this.
No, thank you. I'm good.
I mean, does anybody seriously sit down and watch that for more than one hole? Like, I could see like being amused for 5 minutes. Like, oh, I want to see Steph Curry swing, or can Travis Kelsey hit a golf ball? And you watch him hit one shot. And it's like, that's kind of enough for me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
course. I'm good, because I guess the problem with me is like with Mahomes or Kelsey, I have no context. Like, I don't know what's a good shot for them.
No.
Are they good players? Like, they're probably not terrible. They're obviously not really good, right? So I don't know. There's no context of like, if Travis Kelsey had the yips, chipping yips, and he had to hit a bunch of pitch shots, I would be in on that.
Yeah.
But like, there's no like the banter is like contrived
It's
not
so PC and corny.
I
it's
like
awful.
the match. I like the one with JT, Spieth, Tiger, and Rory, because they were kind of talking about they had to hit crazy shots.
Yeah,
they were kind of talking through stuff. They were doing.
Maybe at the end of the day, you learn something new after watching it.
At the end of the day, I'm watching through it of the lens of like, I want to learn something.
Yeah, exactly.
And with Travis Kelsey, I'm not going to learn shit from him.
I
on the
don't
golf
get
course.
the allure of watching people who are good at another sport play a sport they're not good at. Like, I don't want to see JT and Spieth and them run routes, right? And
I don't want to watch
Skelly.
I don't want to watch rappers in the NBA All-Star celebrity
right,
game.
exactly.
It's
like, I just
totally
I
uninteresting.
don't. And the thing about it, it's one thing to watch it. There was like a lot of people there.
Yeah,
Like, there's a gallery. It's like people are out there watching these
they're
guys
crisis
golf.
actors. They could be paid actors.
I couldn't agree more. Maybe they're feeding them or something, giving them free beers or something.
Yeah, what was the venue for that?
I didn't even look. I just saw it on TV. It looked like it was out in the desert somewhere.
Did they make them
where
schlep around 18 holes, or was it just like a 9-hole? Like,
I have
hit and
no
giggle, get
idea.
out of there?
I literally was on TV at the bar I was at eating at, and I just looked at it. I watched him hit. I watched Steph Curry yip one putt. Like, I know he's a good player, so but he just like completely pulled like a 4-footer, like missed the hole, and I was like, that's all I saw. And I saw like the backdrop. It looked like they were out west somewhere, but I don't know.
I'm good. Yeah, I don't need to see any of that shit.
At some point, the demand's got to dry up on
I
that.
know they do it behind the guys of charity, and that's awesome.
That is.
right.
That is great. Yeah.
But the product stinks. Like, let's keep golfers. Let's do golfers instead.
Yeah.
I like the Tiger JT stuff. That was cool.
Exactly. Or I even like back in the day when they did the Tiger. It was Annika and David Duvall and Tiger
Golfers.
and was it, who was the other lady? Was it
was it Lorena Ochoa?
I don't know. I know it was Annika, David, and Tiger, and I forget the fourth. But either way, that's cool.
It's golfers
That's
playing
cool.
golf.
It's golfers playing golf, and it's cool to mix the male and female aspect of the game and see how that comes together and put a little pressure on both sides. You know, it's fun to watch. But to watch Travis Kelsey wail at a golf ball, I'm good on that.
Yeah. No thanks.
That's about it. I'm gonna keep chasing this swing. I feel like right now I'm just a chaser in life.
Okay.
I'm chasing women unsuccessfully.
Okay.
I'm chasing a swing unsuccessfully. I mean, at some point, something's got to land. I think if you're doing the right things in life with anything, whether it's working on yourself or working on your game, I think if you just keep doing the right things, getting back to the foundational things that work, at some point, it's got to click. I don't know. I have a feeling one of us could do something.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, are you seeing anyone lessons wise?
I am.
Nice.
Yeah.
So at least you got some nice direction there.
Yep.
That's good.
We'll see.
It's better than those guys out there beating balls, trying to get better without a trusted eye behind them, right?
Yeah, the aimless stuff never works.
No, not a big fan.
Yeah, just got to keep putting yourself back out there and keep signing up, and hopefully all it takes is one round. We all know that. Mm-hmm. But I've been saying that for a long time now. All right, well, that's all we have this week. Thanks for tuning in. We will be doing an open preview, I think, soon. And maybe we can dive a little bit more into this club champion stuff. Maybe we will... maybe we'll do a club championship edition at some point. Maybe we'll set up shop in the parking lot at Riverton or something.
We could.
Get some...
patio stories from the ground, right? Soldiers coming in.
We'll see if it's interesting to anybody outside of Riverton. We'll have to...
Probably not.
What would be really cool would to be able to do a club championship episode and get, like, little stories from some other clubs. Even someone just came on and gave a 30-second story.
Small
like a bunch of
vignettes.
small... Yeah, just like a nice little, like, just... Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe it's an off-season project. I don't know.
Something to ponder.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week.